Okay, it says that I'm live, and I hope it's not lying. This is Gwyn Gittens, and I should be on. Make sure that I can see what it is that you're saying. I should be on Facebook, Gwynetta Gittens, Gwynetta S. Gittens, and Gwyn Gittens for um, Lee Schools, District 5, and also on YouTube under Gwyn Gittens. So there's three pieces that you can pick this up. I want to make sure I have your comments up here, and let me make sure this is working. So you should be seeing me in three different locations. On my political page, also on my, now it says I'm live. Okay, I think it's up and I'm live at this point. So I am Gwyn Gittens. I am on the Lee County School Board, have been for the last 3.5 years, almost half. I am doing this on my own. This is not a uh, district or board sanctioned event. This is me talking to the community and to my community and answering whatever questions I might have. If I have the answers, I will give them. If I can't answer them, I'll tell you that as well. If it's something that is within sunshine law that I can't answer, then I'll definitely let you know that as well. So my little spiel at the beginning, if you are a board member, please do not log in at this time. This will be, like I said, on Gwynetta S. Gittens on Facebook, on Gwyn Gittens, excuse me, District 5 on Facebook, and on YouTube on Gwyn Gittens. So you have plenty of time to see it and critique or whatever. And for those of you that don't watch it when it's live, it will be up on those three sites for the next, I leave it up at least a couple of weeks. So if you have questions and you want to go back and send me a message or whatever on it, then please do. And you can message me, you can ask a question, however you like to do it. So let me begin. A couple of things, and I'm not going to stay on but about 30 minutes because I realize the attention span of most people on social media is not even that long. So I want to, today is the 7th, and of course, we have on Monday and Tuesday next week meetings. We have a I will tell you on Monday, I'll tell you in a second, Monday, April 11th, from 12 o'clock, we have a workshop. And then we have on Tuesday, and I'll go through that real quick with you. And then on Tuesday, there's a briefing at 1 o'clock and a board meeting at 6. So I'll go through some of the things really quickly so that you'll understand them. And you can send me questions afterwards if you'd like to. And if you're able to see me, I don't have my other thing here, please let me know that you're out there. Send me a message or something that, hey, I'm here. So, okay. So let us begin. On Monday, we have a workshop, and I want to go over briefly what that workshop's going to be. It's at 12 o'clock. You can always go to leeschools.net, leadership, and go under board docs, and you'll be able to see all of the agenda items for the meeting. To be an informed community person, an informed parent, an informed educator, you do want to take a look at board docs. It's too late to say, why did they do this, if you don't take the time to look and see what is coming up in the board meetings. Now, the workshop on Monday is just that. It's a workshop. There will be no decisions made. There is no public comment, and that's just a standard thing. And we will talk about issues and things that have come up that we need to discuss as a board, as a governance team. But no decisions are really made at that point. One of the other things that we will do is to have the agenda review. So on the Tuesday, the very next day, we will have all of the agenda items that we vote on at 6 o'clock. So we'll discuss those on Monday at the workshop and the agenda review. So if you're interested in some topics and you want to get your word in there before the action meeting on Tuesday, then watch the workshop on Monday. So this workshop this Monday, we will be talking about, and this I'm sure is going to be a hot topic. This is the code of conduct, the student code of conduct, and the code of conduct for adult students, and code of conduct for students for 2022-23 school year. Let me repeat that. This code of conduct is for the incoming school year, 22-23. And this is not anywhere final. This is the first time that we will, it's the first time that we'll actually take a look at it. It's the first time it's out there for everybody to see. You will notice it says DRAFT, draft, all over it. So make sure you understand it is a draft. There is plenty of time for parent involvement, questions, comments, emails, whatever it is that you want to send. And the information is there in a draft form. So I can't say that enough to get people not to get all riled up. This is not a final anything. And you will go, as you go through, you will see the things, it'll say draft, and it'll have things that will be tentatively changing, and that will be able to be discussed in our meetings. So if you are there, please, and I don't have, let's see here, need to make sure I've got it all. Okay. Okay, I want to make sure that I have it so that I can read your comments. And I will do that in 1 second. So that is one of the main things that's going to be in that workshop besides the agenda review. The parent and student and adult code of conduct will be discussed for the first time as a draft on Monday. If you want to see what it is, go to Board Docs. You can reach that on leeschools.net and see what it is and start taking your notes and developing your questions and all that type of thing. We're going to review the board self-evaluation. Yeah, so we'll be talking about what that is, and I believe there's a copy of that in here. Final draft of the board governance evaluation. So we'll be talking about that and seeing what input everyone has. And I see someone out there that you haven't, I'm not sure who it is. Okay, so the other thing, we have workshop lists, workshop topic lists. We're going to be talking about what that looks like and what we need to move up or down in our workshop list. Another thing that's going to be on the workshop is legal presentation on elected versus appointed superintendents. That was a hot topic at our last meeting, and one of our board members wanted us to go and get the information and go out and talk to the public about it. I personally don't feel comfortable doing that. but we will discuss it more. It was kind of tabled to be discussed on Monday at that workshop. So if you go to Board Docs again, you can see the, I believe there's a draft. I don't think there's a draft in there. I think it's just going to be discussed. We may have a draft put in there later, which is one thing I want to talk about later. And then the agenda review. So on Monday, if you're really interested in the code of conduct for students and for adults, if you're interested in the information about elected versus appointed superintendents, that's the time to watch. And that's the time to send in information. If you have questions about it now, send your questions beforehand so that we can add them in the discussion on Monday, because there's no public comment at that time. Okay, next it will be Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We have a briefing. And remember, briefings, you do not have, you do have public comment. There's no voting. The public comment is just only about the topics that are on the briefing agenda. So if you come to speak at the briefing on Tuesday at 1, the topics for that briefing: technical college update, that I feel they're talking about in vision, and I believe this is more the processes and the programs at the technical colleges than building technical colleges. And that's a sore spot with me, because I will continuously say that the demographic in our community deserves and needs, and most of all wants, a technical college in the East Zone. And I think it's a travesty that they've told us for the last 3.5 years that first it was on the 5-year plan, and then all of a sudden I looked and it was on the 10-year plan. So we are not scheduled at this point to have a technical center, which we desperately need, until probably 2026. Just saying. So technical colleges will be on there. The ISOC, or the Half Cent Sales Tax Committee, will do an update as well. So if you're interested in what's happening with the Half Cent Sales Tax, go on. Steve Schimpf and Susan Millay will do that. They'll have a presentation, and they'll talk about what they've discussed at the ISOC committee. And health instruction, there will be a briefing on what we're doing with health instruction. And Bonfire is a program that's used when we are doing construction. If you have a company and you want to do a bid, then you turn your bid in, and all of that goes through Bonfire. And it's just a digital application for filing a bid and the process and everything for building schools and what we're going to do. And hello, whoever is out there. And then we have board member comments. So that's the briefing. Then at 6 o'clock, we will have the action meeting. And remember, you will know everything about that action meeting on Monday when we do the agenda review. The agenda review, we go over everything on, well, not everything, but answer questions. So if you have questions, get them to us early and we can bring them up then. Let me see what else is on here. One of the things that's on here should come up on the agenda review is consent item for notice of contract termination and continued employment for Dr. Savage. And let me explain briefly what that is. On the 15th of this month, Dr. Grenier, our incoming superintendent, permanent superintendent, will start a month as a consultant, and he will be working closely with staff and with um, Dr. Savage and kind of preparing things and being ready to start on May 15th is his actual start date as superintendent. So the contract that we had for the interim superintendent states, and I'm sure this will be discussed on Monday, that when a permanent superintendent was hired, that the interim superintendent would be given the option of a position for a comparable type position for 1 year. So that is on the agenda for approval on Tuesday night. So we'll be discussing that on Monday. What does that look like? What type of job are we talking about? And moving forward with what will happen with our now current interim superintendent. So that will be on there. Florida Graduate Program grants for South Fort Myers High School. We have diagnostic learning, Title IV amendments, reading tutoring for a grant for K-3. We have magnet school assistance program. So a bunch of grants that we'll look at. I'm sure we'll talk about those on Monday before we vote on Tuesday. There's a couple of piggyback things on here, and I'll explain to you what those are. But if another district that's close by wants to join and have one big contract with a company, it's usually very cost effective to do that. Okay, what else? Approval personnel recommendations. Well, that's going to be a big topic on Monday. This is the time of year that they are approving and appointing principals. So I'm sure everybody in the district has already gone on and looked at this item. J1 is very a hot topic right now. Job description for executive services and academic services division. So I believe we'll be discussing that on Monday, what that job description looks like. When a job description is on here for approval, it's just the description. And it should be that in one meeting we're talking about, should we have this job? And then forward, once that's passed or not passed, then the superintendent has the opportunity to find someone to fill that job. But first step is, do we need the job? What is it? How will it affect the runnings of the district? So that will be on there. In operations, let's see, agreement with the Heights Center, Bonita Springs Elementary School renovation. You know, they had the situation with the roof and several other issues that they had. So Bonita Springs Elementary is on there, renovation. Let's see, just a few other piggyback agreements with the county and with Collier County and all of that. I don't see anything really noteworthy on here. There is Cape Coral Tech expansion will be discussed, and this is on for approval. And then there's one approval for easements of sidewalks and slope for the city of Fort Myers, a traffic roundabout. This would be in conjunction with the city and the county and all of these people. So it's approval to do that. And actually, that's all we have on Tuesday night. I think it's kind of a light agenda to an extent, but some of the items on there will be a little heavy hitting, and people will have comments, I'm sure. So make sure you take a look at the agenda and stay up to speed. I've covered all the major things that will be on there. But if there's something on the 6 o'clock agenda on Tuesday that you have concerns about, the time to make those concerns known are between now and Monday. And you can send individual emails to board members or to all the board members or to board office at leeschools.net. And when we are discussing them, those items on Monday before the Tuesday vote, that's when you want to get your information in or your thoughts or questions or whatever, so that we discuss it before Tuesday when there's a vote. So, okay, so that's the agenda. That's one thing. I hope you find this helpful. Oh, hi, Susan. Thank you for joining in. I hope you find this helpful. If you have questions, like I said, this will be up for the next week or so. Get those questions in. Take a look at it. Take a look at that student and parent code of conduct and figure out if that's something that you have questions about. So, a lot of good things are going on, a lot of moving and shifting and shaking is going on. And I mentioned before that our new superintendent will be here starting on the 15th. In fact, we heard today that they are en route. And I remember that long drive from out west all the way to Florida. It seems like when you touch the panhandle, it just keeps stretching out. I think that's the longest drive ever, from the tip of the panhandle all the way over to I-75. But anyway, they are on their way, and we wish them Godspeed and safety out there on the road, and looking forward to them being here. I mentioned that Dr. Neer will take his formal position as of May 15th. But April 15th to May 15th, he will be a consultant, which means that he will have time to kind of get in and find out exactly what's going on and ask questions and all that. It's a tricky time of year, because this time of year, there's a lot of things happening. We are having to, not we, the team, superintendent and his team, are looking at the school year, figuring out who's going to be principals of schools and who's going to do what, because then on the heels of that, you have to figure out how many people you have to hire. So, for example, we have a brand new school opening up, a new elementary school, and at least we will be groundbreaking for it on the 20th, and they will start the process. And if you remember, when they were building Lehigh Acres Middle, the new school right now, there was a query about the architect's plans were a total number of 1,450 student stations. And we were told that the Department of Education said we could only build 1,250 because of the number of permanent portables. And I explained all that to you earlier. So we had another, 300 seats that were not even built at the same time as the rest of the school. And they said that they were going to try to do it while they were still there, but whatever. The crews packed up and everything was done, and they said, oh, we'll do it when we do the elementary school. So supposedly then there will be 2 crews. They will be adding on the extra little section onto the front left side of the Lambs building, and which will provide another like 200 to 300 seats. We will be building, I'm not sure the number of seats of the elementary school, and I'll get that to you. So we've got that going on. We've got the renovation of the old Lambs building. And one of these days I'm going to get on with um, actual pictures and show you what the issues are with that I feel. And I say again, and I will continue to say, I am all about the arts, but I am all about academic success as number one. And academic success means having the buildings and the not crowded classes and the resources that all of our students need. That is first. We are still number one in the supportables. We are still number one in the number of in our achievement gap, and we still have the most schools that have the most um, students in the achievement gap. But I have to say, I heard from a couple of our schools just this week, and regardless, and that's not the right word, I can't think of the right word for it, but even in light of the fact that some of our middle schools have 80 to 90% level one students, that means we have levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Level ones are the ones that have the most difficulty with reading and with math and those types of things. We have a couple of schools that have a plethora of the same level of student, and yet the dedication and the hard work of the staff, the teachers, the administrators of those schools, they are sitting on looking at moving their grade up of at least a letter grade this year. So I can't say enough about the administration in our schools out here in District 5. And let me just say this. I mentioned this on the dais, I think it was 2 weeks ago when we had a meeting, and they were talking about proximity and building schools and all that. And I really feel, and I will be talking about it some more, that when we say East Zone, there's a vast difference if you're talking about East Zone and you're talking about District 5. Because District 5 starts on the eastern side of 82. And the difference in the east side and the west side of 82 from 75 is night and day. And I want to see more discussion about District 5, not the East Zone, but District 5. Because if you put all the districts together and figure out where the most need is, it's going to be District 5. So I continue to bring it up. I continue to talk about it. I was at an event last night with the Libertarians, and thank you. That was a great meeting. And one of the things that I mentioned when people are talking about budget, and one of the things is having whatever amount of money for each student, follow the student wherever, if they want to be in private or charter schools or whatever. And I said, that's a great idea if we get the state and federal government to stop giving us categoricals. Maybe this is your word for the week, categoricals. In other words, if they give us $50,000 and they say this is for, let's just say for books or resources, but you must do this, and this with 40,000 of that. This must be done and this must be done. So those are categoricals. in other words, we're giving you money, but you got to do this, 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 and this with it. That makes it very difficult to plan. And it almost makes it look like all schools are cookie cutters, and they're not. And if we had the ability to use the money that we do get for the things that we know are needed, it would make it a whole lot easier. So I see it's 8:34. I'm not going to stay on long. Um, Interesting thing, I got a message from someone this week. I had posted something. I'm always going live or posting things and talking about the wonderful things our kids are doing. And in spite of all, we've got some real champions um, in Lee County, current, and some that have left and are still doing wonderful things. But I posted something one day, and one of the comments I got was, and yes, and we're going to vote you out. And my response was to the person, um, I appreciate your honesty, and I would really like to know what it is that you take, you know, um, um, faulted. What is it that you think has gone so bad? And there were a couple of things, and thank you to that individual, I'm not going to name them, for answering me back and giving me some food for thought on that. And in one of my next, coming up soon, I'm going to do uh, just a discussion on some of those items, because there are some things out there that people think are this and actually this. So I will shed some light on some of those topics, but I want to thank the person that messaged me for giving me that feedback. We're only as good as the improvements that we make within ourselves. And I do want to let you know, invites will be going out soon on the 21st, I believe it is, of April. I will be having a uh, meet and greet. I'm not calling it a kickoff, I'm just saying a meet and greet. And this meet and greet it'll be on the 21st from 4 until 7. It will be at Mugs and Jugs restaurant, and kid friendly. There'll be games, DJ, food, all kinds of things. And I want you, my community, to have the opportunity to come out and meet me and ask me the tough questions. Ask me, what do I think about this? I do interviews for anybody that asks me to do it. And that's because I may not may not always see eye to eye with you, but the only way we're going to make this world better is to decide what's one thing we can agree on, and let's start from there. And I think I can speak to anybody about education as long as they know that that one thing we should agree on is children. What's best for them? How can we help them achieve their highest potential? So let's start with that. And then let's talk as we go how to make that happen. So if you have a question, contact me, message me, call me, 239-634-0164, GwynnettaSG at leeschools.net. And I will continue to champion District 5 as a part of the East Zone. We're going to get it going. We're going to get some things across the finish line. So I will talk to you later. I'm out. Please share this with others and continue to ask those questions. I will boost the post and send it out to more. And I take questions about it all the time. So remember, the meetings are next week. So take care, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend that's coming up. Relax, and we'll talk to you real soon.